Anyway, let's talk about sex, or lack thereof, right, guys?
Sure.
Just me?
No.
Nah, man. Definitely. Since becoming a father, I've had a lot less.
All right. Well, let's talk about it because it's something I think about often, a lot. And did you know about 1% of the adult population has never had any form of sexual experience? Not once.
Makes sense.
What does that mean?
What, like most people are virgins?
Hand job?
1%.
Nothing. No sexual experience.
1%,
No
okay.
oral
Yeah, I
sex.
could-
No titty grab. Nothing. And I thought it'd be a
No
lot
titty
higher.
grab?
I thought it'd be a lot higher, but then I remembered that whores. So why do some people never have sex? What happens?
Yeah, what
What
age do
happens?
they cap it at? Death?
They capped it
when
all
did,
the way
when
up
did
to
they run the 1% thing at? Age
30.
30?
Between
40?
the ages of 39 and 73 is the data set they used of over 400,000
Okay, so
participants.
39 is the youngest. Got
Yeah.
it.
So
39
they,
to 73.
They're like, by 39, you should have had sex. So what's wrong with you, basically?
So they're
what they
not
said.
busy because they yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
what's happening here? Why are they
So-
having
Get a pack
sex?
of Pokemon cards for filling out the survey.
Right.
Yeah, well, basically. Basically.
Did they promise them sex?
No. They just reaffirmed why they're not having sex, basically.
Did they hope it was like some sort of TV show, and if you filled out no, you'd get some sort of sex?
I think they just stole data from this big, it's called the UK Biobank, and it's a detailed health database in the UK, and it contains genetic, medical, lifestyle information. I don't know if people are supposed to get access to this, but this Dr. Abdeloui from the Department of Psychiatry at Amsterdam University got his hands on it, and he's not making people happy. So of the more than 400,000 respondents, 3,929 individuals, or 1%, said they never had sex. The group included 2,068 women and 1,861 men.
Whoa,
So
more women than men.
So what they tried to do is break it down in genetics and character traits to find what was the common denominator. Why were these people that
They had
didn't have
pictures
sex?
of these 3,900 freaks.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Can we do a matchmaking?
We should. They should totally have like gotten them all hammered and put them in a room.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the problems.
Fix the problem.
That I'll tell you about why these people aren't having sex. So they examined 251 traits and characteristics across this group, ranging from mental health and personality measures to physical strength, education levels, substance abuse, social habits, and regional economic data, which I'm not going to go into because a lot of it was like, oh, there's not enough women here, blah, blah, blah. They also conducted genome-wide study, scanning more than 10.6 million genetic variants across the genome to identify which DNA patterns were associated with sexlessness.
This is
This is horrible for these people.
Yeah. So here's the shocking.
Your dad was a loser. Your grandfather was a loser. Your great God, I don't even know how you're here. Frankly,
Yeah.
Whoa.
So some of it's pretty logical. Across both men and women, sexlessness was consistently associated with greater social withdrawal, less frequent contact with friends and family, a lower likelihood of having a close confidant, and significant higher levels of loneliness and unhappiness. So if you don't leave the house and you're a real Debbie Downer, you're never going to get laid naturally.
Yeah, these people cry more.
Yeah. Sexless individuals were also less
the
likely.
genitals stink.
Here's where they really.
What kind of a study is that? How did they find that out from their genome? What the-
Yeah, they're
No,
pointing out other things wrong with them too.
Yeah, they are. They're hammering these people.
well, they're
Here's
lazy.
stupid.
Their DNA says they're lazy.
Ugly.
Oh, shit.
Here's where they start to get into hammering the nerds. Sexless individuals were also less likely to drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, or use cannabis, a finding that appeared consistently
Well,
across
yeah, because then they'd have to get a little too honest and tell people they didn't have sex before.
Yeah, if you're not cool, you don't have sex. Those are the rules, right? Been that way for a long time.
Damn, dude. This is crazy.
They were also
Less
more
to
likely.
be invited to parties.
They were also more likely to report feeling nervous, and they scored lower on measures of extroversion, the personality dimension that drives social engagement.
Okay, so
yeah,
these are just obvious findings. Like it's
yeah,
like
exactly,
They
exactly.
didn't need to do this.
All right, but here's where it gets a little more mean.
Salt in
They're
the
like
wound.
a
Yeah, they are.
solution.
The whole thing is just an insult to these people. So, men specifically,
Guess what else?
they found, this is fucked up. Men specifically, they found additional physical dimensions which led to their sexlessness, including lower grip strength, leaner arm muscle mass, and wearing glasses from an early age. Were all significantly associated with sexless men. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they just describe
Four
nerds.
eyes.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just describe nerds.
Hey, how was your day with Poindexter? Well, he was an anxious mess, and the iced tea glass kept slipping from his hand.
Poor
man.
skeletal structure.
You gotta
Glasses
get
were
up.
fogging up.
Yeah.
Home Depot bucket and fucking sack of rice. And
Yeah.
start training those mitts.
Holy shit.
Yeah. They also said that genes. So basically, they said like, one of the things they said was that children. It started early. So if you wore glasses as a child, you were more likely to be a sexless nerd in the future, because that was like how you perceived yourself. People called you a nerd and four eyes, and then you just got low self-esteem.
Certainly through middle school and high school is tough.
Yeah, it had no effect on older people when they started wearing glasses later in life, they said.
Right.
The single most striking finding in the study is one that researchers are having difficulty explaining, and that was that higher childhood IQ, greater educational attainment, and higher socioeconomic status were all significantly and positively correlated with sexlessness, which again goes back to the nerds, smarter. They've
Better
they've-
educated you are,
better
the more
educated,
likely you are
yeah.
to end up a sexless loser.
Well, you got a lot of
Yeah.
time to study.
Well, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's
but
someone in the
I
sack.
guess not surprising.
well, no,
Not
that,
surprising
you're
at
right.
all,
It is.
'cause
It is.
They sacrifice everything for their education and
But
their
they're
career.
privileged. They're privileged.
Yeah, but
Well, it
they
is-
also aren't wanted, maybe, and so they put it all into career and education.
But chicks fuck rich dudes who are ugly.
Right,
There's more chicks
Pat,
who
that's
didn't
what they
do it
said.
than men.
This whole study contradicts one of the most deeply held assumptions in evolutionary biology, that intelligence and resources are attractive traits, such as, you're smart, you have
dummies
money,
fuck like rabbits, bro.
right?
Yeah,
but
Mike
later
Judge
in
was right.
life, yeah.
Yeah. Mike
But
Judge
that's
nailed it.
that's what
Idiocracy. Dummies lose their virginity at like 14.
right, right. So
You're
let's
saying
see.
I could stick this inside of that?
There can't be any consequences for something that feels this good. And if there are, I don't want to know about them.
They also found genetic associations overlap significantly with a higher education and IQ, less substance use, higher autism and anorexia risk, and lower ADHD, anxiety, depression, and PTSD
This
risk.
is just a mean study.
It is very mean. So basically, the full picture is introverted, academically strong, physically less robust, socially withdrawn, nervous, less likely to drink, more likely to be on the autism spectrum, wearing
my
glasses in
goodness, dude.
childhood. They basically just said, if you're a nerd, you probably aren't going to have sex. Is basically
Whoa, it's coded into our DNA. They're saying
Yeah.
that this is the way that humans.
That's
this is
so
just the way
weird.
it is.
Because everyone has a parent. Everyone's parents fucked, or you're not here.
Right.
yeah, but then every generation, these are the sexless. The
They
nerds.
overcame, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change generation after generation. They're saying this is the DNA of a sexless person.
Yeah.
You
But
know, like in
it's-
those nature
I'm
shows,
overcoming. I'm overcoming.
when the
That's
baby
crazy,
when the babies
dude.
have to like run across the ocean or whatever and not get eaten. Some overcome.
Yeah.
Some nerds overcome.
Some
Stephen Hawking did, but I mean that's kind of gross. I've seen.
Well, yeah.
Well, he was married, right? I didn't watch the movie. Did you guys watch the movie?
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
I'll be
It
back.
ended
in a
before
week.
his Epstein era. It ended before that.
Way before.
Yeah.
Way before.
Yeah, the sequel's gonna be fucked up.
So this study,
Submarine's gonna be. That's what I'm talking about. Another dark comedy. Whoa, submarine.
there's also, I don't know if you guys know about this. There's a big problem happening. This study ties into. It goes into a bunch of other stuff that points to nerds, but the findings of the study land in the middle of a growing conversation about what researchers are calling a global loneliness epidemic. One in which sexlessness is both a symptom and a contributing factor. So in 2025, a report from the World Health Organization's Commission on Social Connection found that social isolation and loneliness are now widespread across all age groups, with serious and under-recognized consequences for both physical and mental health. They described the situation as a public health crisis requiring urgent coordinated action comparable in serious, better-known threats like obesity and smoking. So this
sex.
loneliness thing,
Yeah, they're calling
people
it
need
hand
sex.
jobs now.
People
need
need
sex.
sex.
We need
People
sex.
need sex, or the world is going to just fucking, die.
Now people have to do it more. You got to get
Sex.
it
I
done.
wouldn't want to live on a
Needs
sexless
people.
world.
You got to get it done more.
Yeah. So
You got to get it done more. B Fox asks, "Who the fuck is being honest and saying they never fucked on these nerds?" B Fox. They're trying to find the answers,
Well,
and sadly, the answers of the study were.
See, we had some suspicions that the data might have been stolen, but also
Yeah, they didn't-
probably underreported.
Didn't think it was a survey.
Yeah.
But hey, Thailand and booze, just to book a ticket, you'll be okay. That's the remedy for all of this. So, there is hope. But get out. Go.
You're not dead yet.
Yeah, get out there and give it a shot.
Give it your all.
Give it your all.
Maybe lose the glasses, get some contacts.
Break the cycle. Yeah.
Maybe get some hand strength.
Yeah.
Just
break the
start
cycle.
drinking. Develop a drinking issue.
There you
and
go.
We'll get laid.
Get that old tool where you squeeze it.
Yeah.